Welcome back to the I Am Worthy podcast. I am Brittany Noel. I am your host. You guys know I'm a speaker, I'm a therapist, I'm an entrepreneur, but on our podcast, I am simply your guide as we are all on this journey of discovering more of who we are and really taking hold of everything that we are worthy of. So thank you guys for tuning in. First off, let me say, I know it's been a minute since we've had our last episode, but it is for great reason, okay? Now, if you're a part of my tribe and y'all know me, there are times when I go quiet, okay? There are times when I get silent. There are times where you won't find me on Instagram, you won't find me on YouTube. And this is for a very important reason, because it's in the silent times that you know that I am building. So as you can see, I'm not in my studio today, and I want to reveal why. Because behind the scenes, I have been working on a massive project that is just beginning, and it's exciting, it's scary, but I want to bring my tribe along with me. Without further ado, I want to give you guys the first reveal to my new event space, The Exception at East End. Okay, so this is the story about how this whole venture came about. I'm out of my car one day, I'm driving around, and I am looking for a second event space because I had made it up in my mind that 2021 was the year that I was gonna find my second location. And so I'm driving around and I see this building, has the sign out. I call the lady the same day. She responds, sends me a video of the space. And when I watch the video, she says in the video that the space is 13,000 square feet. And I'm like, dang, I don't really need that much space. You know, I wasn't looking for that much space. And, you know, what am I going to do with that much space? And so the lady calls me and I wasn't going to answer the phone. And I wasn't going to answer the phone because this space is very close to downtown. And I know real estate. Anything close to downtown has a price tag for it. And for 13,000 square feet, close to downtown, both of those things together means I cannot afford it. And so I answered the phone anyway when she calls me, and she's telling me everything about the space, and I was like, yeah, you know, I don't think it's gonna be a good fit. And she was like, oh, but it's at such a great price. And so she tells me the price, and the price is in my budget. And I'm like, well, let me go look at it. So I go look at it, and as I'm walking through the space, literally, I start to see how the vision that I've held on to for so long about different things that I wanted to do and create in my life could all take place in this space. So not only would I be able to have a second venue space, but I would also be able to have the podcast studios that I wanted to build. I would also be able to create the TED Talk stage that I wanted to do. I would also be able to have a place where content creators, speakers, authors could come and commune and create their information, disperse their things, have their events, speak on stage, create content that's gonna change the world. And so I'm walking through this space and I'm seeing all of this possibility happen. And I'm getting excited and I'm getting excited and I'm getting excited, okay? And the realtor didn't know what was happening. I was just getting happy, right? And I'm like, okay, well, let me go and pray about it, because you know I pray about everything. So I go, I pray about it, and I'm nervous. And I'm like, God, you know, I don't know if this is something that I can pull off. And so as I'm praying about it, what I heard was the reason why, because mind you, a month before finding this space, I was turned down from a building that was 2,500 square feet. And I was like, okay, why would I be turned down for 2,500 square feet and then brought to see 13,000? And he said, because 2,500 wasn't big enough to hold your vision. And I said, okay, all right, so let's do it. So we pursue getting this building, and that meant that we had to have a lot of conversations with realtors, with contractors, inspectors. Everybody and their mama had to come out and give me a report so that I could make an informed decision about what I wanted to do with the building. And so we did that, and everything, it was intense negotiations, you guys, going back and forth. And, you know, they wanted one thing, I wanted another. They wanted one thing, I wanted another. And so we're just going back and forth, back and forth. And when you talk about a process being overwhelming, You talk about trying to plan for unknowns and trying to plan for things I can't control and trying to consider every hypothetical worst case scenario possibility. It's a lot. And so I'm completely overwhelmed, and it all came down to the last weekend. The last weekend before I signed on the dotted line to get this space. It was a Sunday, and I remember having a conversation with my realtor, and it was one stipulation that we were trying to negotiate, and it was a deal breaker. Okay, it was a make it or break it. And my realtor told me, she was like, "Well, Brittany, this is a big one. I don't think it's gonna work based on what this is." And I knew, she was like, it's very possible that this is not gonna go your way. And if that happens, do you have a plan B? And I said, no, I don't have a plan B. This is it. So if they don't take it, there is no other option. I just won't be getting the building. And when I tell you, I get off the phone with her and my spirit is just completely crushed, because I knew the likelihood of these people accepting my negotiation terms were very unlikely. And so that Sunday, I call it was my crying and cleaning Sunday, because I got off the phone with her, I went home and just cried. And I did something that I tell my clients to do all the time, and I tell them, when you're releasing something, you have to have a burial. You have to have a ceremony, a time to grieve. And so that Sunday, I'm walking around my house and I'm just cleaning, because that's what Virgos do when we're worked up. I'm cleaning and I'm crying, and the tears are just falling, and I'm allowing myself to grieve this vision that I saw. Allowing myself to grieve the grand opening that I saw, grieve the beautiful event space, grieve the podcast studios, grieve the stage. It's not gonna happen anymore. And so I'm allowing myself to kill this vision as I'm walking around my house and I'm cleaning and I'm crying, and I'm killing this vision. Because there's no way in my head at this moment that these negotiations are gonna work out in my favor. And so I'm just cleaning and crying, cleaning and crying, cleaning and crying. Y'all, my house smelled like bleach, okay? My house smelled like Fabuloso. But I was just cleaning and crying. And that in itself is a word for some of you, because you have to realize that when you kill something, that you can kill something that you love, but know that if it's not good to be attached to you anymore, that it's okay to cry about it, but at the same time, I gotta clean it up. It's okay to cry about it. It's okay to weep over it, but at the same time, make sure that you're cleaning it up. It's okay, because you're gonna have seasons in your life where you have to be cleaning and crying at the same time. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so on that Sunday, I'm walking through and I'm grieving this vision, and I'm allowing myself to let it go so that I can move forward. And so as I'm cleaning and crying, I said, I'm done with this. I'm finished. And so I go to bed. I went to bed. That was an early night. I went to bed early that night, just exhausted. And that Monday morning, I woke up and I knew at any given time my realtor was going to call me back. And she was gonna have this bad news for me. And I said, okay, I'm not calling her first, because normally I call her first. I said, today I'm not calling her first. She's gonna have to call me. And the beautiful part about my relationship with God, when I woke up that morning, that Monday morning, as I'm expecting bad news, I woke up with a headache from all the crying I was doing the next day. I remembered a sermon that I heard T.D. Jakes speak. Had to have been years ago. But in my spirit, when I woke up, when I heard my spirit ask me, he said, show me where you laid it. Show me where you laid it. And it reminded me of a sermon that T.D. Jakes spoke about when Lazarus died. And he asked the people, he said, show me where you laid him. And when he asked me, when he said, show me where you laid it, I knew he was asking me to show him where I laid the dead vision. The vision that I just tried to kill the night before, the vision that I just tried to release the night before. For everything that I just said, it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna work. He met me the next morning to said, okay, now show me where you laid it, because if I touch it, if I breathe on it, I can resurrect the thing that you thought wasn't for you. I can resurrect the thing that you thought didn't apply to you. I can resurrect the thing that you thought you didn't qualify for. That if you show me where you laid it, there won't be anyone able to tell you that you can't have it. So show me where you laid it. And I'm saying that, you guys, because many of you have killed off visions. Many of you have killed off ideas and dreams of what you thought you could be and what you thought you could have and what you thought you could walk into. But what I had to come to terms with was, Brittany, maybe you had the funeral too soon. Maybe you threw in the towel too soon. Maybe you gave up on this one too soon. So that Monday when I woke up, I said, okay, God, I trust you. And that if this building is mine, if this vision is mine, then the report will come back good. And so I had to sit and have a moment with my daddy, my God, and said, this is scary. This is a lot for me. And I never asked for 13,000 square feet. I just asked for a second space. But if you say that I'm ready, then the report will come back good. And I think 1 o'clock that afternoon, my realtor comes calling me and she says, Brittany, you and I are going to be the best of friends. And I said, why do you say that? And she says, because they accepted your terms. And it was like time just froze for me in that moment. Because yes, I was happy that I got the building, but getting the building confirmed everything God has ever said about me. Everything that he has ever called me to be, everything he's ever called me to do. That Sunday I was killing the dream because I didn't think it was possible for me. But on Monday he resurrected it and said, don't you forget who I called you to be. And so today's episode, you guys, I want to challenge all of you to remember who he called you to be. Remember what he called you to create. And we are talking about a journey to worthy. Y'all, I thought I was only worthy of 5,000 square feet. And he came back and said, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to give you 13,000. So when we talk about becoming worthy and believing that we're worthy, it's believing in the more of who we are. I want to challenge all of you. For the next 4 months, we are going to be doing renovations. We're going to be literally building my vision piece by piece by piece, and I'm going to document all of it because I want y'all to take this journey with me. But more importantly, I want you to build something with me. As I am building my vision, as I am building my dream, I want you to go and resurrect your own. I want you to get that book that you set on the shelf. I want you to get that camera that you put down. I want you to pick up that thing that you thought was dead. And for some of you, you just have to show them where you laid it. Because it's not too late. It's not too early. That if you're watching this video, this is for you to say, this is your message that says it's resurrection season. And some of the things you killed them too early. So what if we allowed those things to breathe again? And so as I am building in the next 4 months, I want you guys to tell me, what are you going to be building with me? What part of you are you healing in this season? What purpose project are you pursuing? What thing are you creating that's going to add value into this earth? In the next 4 months, you guys, we got 4 months to do this. And I want y'all to do it with me. So for the next couple of episodes, we are not going to be in the studio. We're going to be here. And I'm going to share every insight that I get from this process, every piece of me that grows in this process, every challenge that comes with this process. I'm going to show you guys, because I don't want to show you my grand opening and let it be spectacular. without showing you how ugly this journey can be and how hard this journey can be. Because the journey being hard doesn't disqualify me from what He's already promised me. And I want y'all to see it so that you know if I did it, you can do it too. So comment below and let me know if you're joining me for the next 4 months. Let me know what it is that you're going to be building with me for the next 4 months. Tell me what you're resurrecting. Until our next episode, you guys, I will talk to you later.